Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about G.I. Joe. We're going to talk about G.I. Joe. You know, I've always wondered if the people who complained about stuff like this, if they were ever actually fans of the series or the franchise universe, whatever term you want to use, or if they just wanted something to whine about so they could feel like they were the victim. Okay, so I got a message. When did G.I. Joe become woke? I know you're a fan. Admit it. It bothers you that the new movie has Snake Eyes as an Asian. But you stay silenced out of fear of being canceled. The comics are canon. Pick up where they left off. The only reason they did this is because of the attacks lately. They cast the movie like 2 years ago. You talked about The Little Mermaid and Bond, but not about something we all know you're a fan of. Be a man and put on one of your G.I. Joe shirts and tell us why you haven't talked about this. Let's talk about woke G.I. Joe before there's trans Joes fighting climate change. This is so funny. Okay, so when did G.I. Joe become woke? Let's start with that. Segregation ended in 1968. That was the real end of it. So I'm going to say 1964, because by 1965, they'd already released a black character. Now, I imagine that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the stuff from the 80s, and I'm going to say from the very beginning, I want you to try to think of another toy line that had representation for every race. Native, Asian, black, white, Latino. And I don't mean like a token, like a major part of the universe. Bet you can't. Name another boys' toy line in the early 80s where the women characters sold out. G.I. Joe has always been really woke. Even like the whole propaganda aspect. The least woke thing about G.I. Joe is, knowing is half the battle and the other half is violence. They had a pacifist character. As the Cold War thawed, they introduced Russian characters and made them good guys. Kind of help with that. They took one of the major characters and gave them a substance issue and put it into the children's cartoon and showed that character going through it and going through withdrawal. They've kind of always been woke. That's kind of a big part of it, to be honest. We'll get to that. The comics are canon, you say. Pick up where they left off. That's going to be a really boring movie there, superfan, because Snake Eyes has been dead in the comics for years. Just film his grave, I guess. And then you've got this last line here. Trans Joes fighting climate change. In 1991, G.I. Joe released the Eco Warriors. Their whole job was cleaning up pollution because it was damaging. That already happened 30 years ago. That's already a thing. And if the comics are canon, I would point out that we really still don't have an explanation as to how Dial Tone, Jack Morelli, became Jill Morelli. Nobody cared. Nobody needed an explanation. Because that's part of it. It's sad that you didn't realize this. The reason G.I. Joe resonated with an entire generation is because there was a character that was relatable to everybody. Everybody could find a character that they had something in common with. They came from different socioeconomic classes, different races, everything, different cultures. Some were immigrants. And they all came together and became an American hero. That was the whole point. It's sad that you missed that. You know, a lot of my friends, they related to Lowlight, That was the character's name. Because a lot of their dads came back from Vietnam, and they had, well, let's just say creative disciplinary tactics, which was Lowlight's backstory. His dad was pretty horrible, had nightmares about it, childhood trauma, pretty woke topic in the cartoons in the 80s. It's always been like that. The whole point was to embrace diversity. That's what made them strong. That's what built the teams. If you're looking to provoke outrage for some silly culture war thing, you probably need to pick a different fandom. I don't think anybody is going to care that Snake Eyes went from white to Asian. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.